Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking about breastfeeding because it has been quite the journey for me, and I just wanted to share, hopefully so that y'all can just feel, well, I don't know, just hopefully that way it can help. So come on and join me in my story. So I started going into it really feeling like I wasn't going to be able to breastfeed, but I was praying that I would be able to. My mom couldn't breastfeed, and so I was like, I'm not going to be able to. But anyway, so after my daughter was born, I started breastfeeding right as soon as she was born. They put her on my chest, and within a few hours we were able to breastfeed and stuff. It hurt me for the first it hurt slightly for the first 2 days, and then it really started to hurt by the third day. And then of course your milk comes in, and so after it was about a week after that, I got mastitis. And if you've never had mastitis, basically it's like the flu, except for your boobs also hurt really bad. I was put on antibiotics for that to help with the infection. I got on antibiotics for that, and then was told, that you need to pump every 2 hours to completely empty the breast. I started doing that, and then you're also supposed to use warm, moist heat. So I started doing that, but I was like, how is this gonna help? Because then my milk supply is just gonna go up, and it's going to exacerbate the problem. Well, anyway, so I went on from there, and I just kept getting clogged ducts. I would get clogged milk ducts. Basically, it's where you feel a very hard, painful lump in your breast, and it hurts really bad. So I would get those very often. So what I was doing at the time, I was using sunflower lecithin, and then I was whenever I'd get a clogged duct, I would really push super hard, try and massage it out, and that was actually causing more harm than good, and I didn't realize that. So I went on that for oh my gosh, probably 8 months, until my daughter was 8 months old. In that time, I had probably gotten over 60 clogged ducts, and then I got mastitis. Another time that had to require antibiotics, and then a few more times without antibiotics where I just spiked fever. It never got really high, but I just felt terrible. And then your breast really hurts. Well, the whole time, one of my breasts was getting really full, and the other one was depleting a lot. So I was having this major imbalance to where you could even see it, it was bad. So it kind of just got worse and worse to where one side was producing a ton, and the other side was just not really producing much at all. So one side in the mornings, sometimes I would wake up and pump 9 ounces out of one, and then not even a quarter ounce out of the other. It was wild. And so finally, my midwife, I had talked to her about it, and she had said that the American Academy of Breastfeeding, I think that's what it's called, released some research that said that instead of pumping every 2 hours to try and empty it, what you need to do is to do a lymphatic massage, which basically you kind of do a little, scratchy type thing is kind of the idea, and then you ice instead of heat. What happened there is that it then reduced the inflammation that I had in my breast, because basically I thought I had a clogged duct, a straight clogged duct for a month, and that's what it felt like. But I just kept pressing so hard on it because I was like, I gotta get this thing out, and that actually didn't help. So what was happening was I was getting what they think is inflammatory mastitis. Basically, I just inflamed that tissue so much that it had just gotten permanently inflamed like that. And at this point, basically I was just feeding off of one side because the other side was almost completely dried up. I was still taking sunflower lecithin about every single day. Sunflower lecithin is supposed to reduce the thickness of your milk, I believe. It's kind of complicated, but then it started to get better with the shift in not just pumping all the time, and then changing to more that lymphatic massage, the more gentle massage. Things changed so much, and it was so helpful. So now we're about to a year, and another thing I forgot to mention is that I used a nipple shield pretty much that whole time, and it's because I had such a fast letdown on one side that it would make my baby really mad, and she wouldn't eat. From about month 2 until probably month 4, she had a feeding aversion. So what she would do is anytime I would even put her in that position to nurse, or even on the other breast, or with a bottle or a different nipple or anything, she would arch her back, scream, and freak out. And it was so stressful as a mom, because you're oh, my baby has to eat. So eventually we had kind of figured that out to where she was eating again. But the nipple shield really helped her not be so angry, because what was happening was she was I was setting her on the breast, and then she would just get sprayed with so much milk. And so the nipple shield really helped to be kind of a reservoir for that. And so I've just continued using it, and now she just likes that. But whatever, that's been my journey. And now I only feed off of one side. This other side is actually completely dried up at this point, and I know that that's very dysfunctional. I just hope that this helps you because it can be really hard, and I get it. Those were like some of my tricks. That was some of my, that was my story. But yeah, ultimately the thing that helped was icing and doing that lymphatic massage instead of pumping and emptying every 2 hours. Also, I loved the nipple shield. I mean, I'm not a doctor, so listen to what your doctor says, but I think the nipple shield helps a ton. So yeah, now I really only pump like once a day. It's gotten a lot better, so I don't have as much crazy milk supply as I did. You really just want to feed your baby as much as the baby needs. God created our bodies to be able to do that. So yeah, that's my breastfeeding story. Hope you enjoyed this, and I guess DM me if you have any questions, if you need help. But yeah, that's my story.